Hello, how's it going? I'm Becky Saif. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you a crash course in drum break production. Drum breaks are used throughout all different genres of music, from hip hop to drum and bass and beyond, and they've been recycled and rehashed and mashed up so many times that it means they are copyright free and free for you to use because you can't trace them. They've just been taken from old records and used hundreds of thousands of times. And the reason why you would use drum breaks in your track is mostly because of groove. So what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you how you can slice up your drum breaks. Then I'm going to show you how you can make your own drum rack in Ableton Live 11 so that you can attenuate using the ADSR envelope, the transposition and the filter. And then we're going to take advantage of the groove pool where you can add your break to the groove pool and then take it out of there, the groove, and add that to other tracks in your project so that you've got this cohesive groove running completely throughout your music. So this is going to be a bit of a lengthy tutorial, so I'm going to stick the timestamps below so you can skip to your favorite section. I wouldn't recommend it though, because if you follow the whole process all the way through, then you're going to have a complete understanding of how you can edit your breaks inside of Ableton. Before I get into the video though, please check out my Twitch stream. I do stream on Twitch, long form music production 3 times a week is twitch.tv/Becky Saif. And also, if you want to join the Discord community of music producers, the link to both of those is below. Great. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just give you a history of drum breaks because it's nice to know where they come from. The links to all of the tracks that feature these breaks, the originals, are linked below as well. And the first one I want to show you is the king, Daddy, the one that has been used probably the most in history of drum breaks. It is the Amen break from the Winstons track called Amen Brother. So this is, you'll know this is the break. Timeless. The next one is Hot Pants. The next one is Funky Drummer. And the last one is the Think break. And I'm sure you've heard all of those in music because they've been just used so much. And it's just nice to introduce you to these 4, which I believe are probably the most commonly used. And if you want to check out the original tracks, like I said, they are below. So we're going to use the Hot Pants break to slice up into our drum rack. So this is how you would slice into a drum rack. You right click on the audio sample and you come down to slice to new MIDI track. It's got a slicing preset of built in. Press OK. Now this is your drum rack here. Just get rid of that. So your drum rack, let's open it up. And this is what you would have as a default drum rack. So you've got your ADSR envelope here, which is attack, decay, sustain, and release. So we're going to listen to the sliced up MIDI now. So these are all drum slices. So it's taken the transients every time the drum hits, it's taken the transients and it's sliced each one into a MIDI note. So let's listen to this. So it's sounding pretty nice as it is, but if you want to tighten up the transients even further, come down to the ADSR and really you want to be looking at the decay and the sustain for attenuation. So let's play it and I'll just change the macros here. So you can hear how that's tightened up the break and it's made it a little bit more modern, a bit more electronic than the original sample that we had. Now, another thing that is really common to use on breaks is transposition. If you transpose your break, it adds even more of that cohesive sound that you get with modern music. But unfortunately, on the default drum rack, we don't have the option to transpose in the macro section. So what we're going to do is we're going going to create our own tailor-made drum rack. So delete this one and delete the track, and we're going to insert a new MIDI track. So Shift, Command, and T. We have a brand new MIDI track. Just get rid of the EQ8 because we don't need that. Go to your instruments, go to drum rack and drag it down there. Open it up the same as before. So you have all of the features here, and then you're going to add a simpler into drop instrument or sample here. Now this looks exactly like what we had before, but instead it's got no slices in there. And now we're going to add our macros to the parameters that we want to adjust. So we would right click on the attack, map to macro 1, right click on the decay, map to macro 2, right click on the sustain, map to macro 3, the release, map to macro 4. And then in order to map the transpose, we go to controls, and you can see transpose here. You right click on that and map to macro 5. Now you can also, I like to map the frequency to macro 6. And this, what it basically does is it's like a low pass filter that comes down. So say you have a buildup or something, or a section that is going to transition from one section to another. You now have this filter here where you can sweep down on your break inside of the drum rack. So once you've got your drum rack set, you can press save, and it's going to go into this drum rack preset folder. But we want it to go into the slicing folder, and slicing is in defaults. So if you can't find the defaults folder, just type it in the top and it will automatically come up. And then you're going to drag your drum rack into the slicing subfolder of the defaults folder, and there it is, it's drum rack. So now you can delete this drum rack from your project, delete the MIDI track, and we're going to go through the same process again. So the hot pants break, right click on it, we're going to slice to new MIDI track, but instead of slicing preset built in, we're going to go to drum rack, which is the rack that we've just made. Press OK, and now you have your drum rack here with the transpose and with the filter on there as well. So now we can take the hot pants break, we can adjust the decay and the sustain to get those transients nice and tight, and we can also transpose to bring it more into the vibe of the track that we're creating. So the transients are nice and tight. Let's transpose. Bringing it up to semitones. Now, another thing that's really nice, obviously we want to maintain the groove, but to get this more into the grid or quantize it, you can come into the MIDI clip, and instead of quantizing absolutely everything, because then you are going to lose the groove, you can grab a group of notes and align them to the grid. So we could grab, say, for example, slices 5 to 3, and just drag slice 3 to the grid line. And then the same with slices 8, 7, and 6, and just drag slice 6 to the grid line. And do the same for all of them, and then you're getting it kind of on the grid, but you're maintaining the groove, which is really, really important with these breaks. So once we've done that, we want to extract the groove and use that groove to apply to other tracks in our project. So right click on it and extract groove. It's going to go into the groove pool. Now you have the option to quantize this even further and change the timing, the random, the velocity. But first of all, I want to take this up to the tops loop that we have at the top here. So let's just listen to this without the groove on it. Cool, so then you just drag the groove up to the tops loop and then play it and audition it to see what it sounds like in relation to the hot pants. Bring up the quantize, and you can take the bass down to 1/8. And you can hear that it's changed the groove of the tops. So if we play them both together, they should sound more in groove with each other. And I've just tightened up the transients a little bit more as well. Now, another thing you can do is to process your breaks. And one thing I like to do, let's just get rid of the other tracks that we have here. So we're just concentrating on the ones that we have edited. So we have the hot pants break and the tops loop that now has the hot pants groove. And I want to duplicate this. You can do this either with the audio effect rack inside of Ableton, or you can just press Command and D. And this is now a parallel chain of the hot pants break. We want to do a high pass filter on this second chain because what we want to do is just add a layer of texture. So this is going to be the crunch, the distortion, the grittiness that you would get in percussion loops. So in a sense, we're re-adding in what we've taken away in terms of character. So on top of the second track, you want to add a saturator and also erosion. And these are going to really push up those upper harmonics and crunch the top of the break. So I'm just going to play the parallel chain and add the noise. And do a high shelf. And now you can hear that that's the crunchy upper harmonics of that break. Reintroduce the break and the tops loop as well. And I would probably just tighten the transients on the parallel chain that we've done. Just change it up a little bit so that it blends with the other one. And then to hear how your breaks sound with a beat, grab a kick drum. So I'm just going to use Kick 2. Great plugin for doing kicks. It's just a sine wave generator, but it is an epic one. Shift Command and M to enter a MIDI clip and put in your kick drum. And that's how you would slice up your breaks into transients, maintain the groove, extract the groove, and add it into other tracks in your project. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like it and drop me a comment to let me know what you thought. And if you have any questions, also comment in the comment section below. I'm Becky Saif, and I'll see you in the Twitch streams on twitch.tv/Becky Saif. Remember, I do stream 3 times a week, and remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell on this channel if you would like to see more videos from me. And I'll see you for another one. Bye!